Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to J is for Justice. My name is Jay. I am your host this morning. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday morning and you got your Java. I'm coming in hot from Florida, Clearwater, Florida. Let me know where you're listening from. Good morning. Good morning. We have some explosive content this morning to watch. Chris Proudfoot is a little upset. He's a little upset, and I guess they had a call after this. They're supposed to have a call after this and talk things through, but we've got some of this interview. I was going to clip it, and I was like, this isn't even clippable because it's all fire. There's nothing you can clip. So we're just going to start from when Chris Proudfoot joins the panel, and we're going to listen from there because then Seth joins in, and it gets very heated. And I think that Chris Proudfoot showed his true colors. For sure. Toronto and England and South Africa. See, this is why I ask where you're from, because it's amazing. Kentucky, England, Texas, Cambridge, Ohio, Newton, West Virginia, Washington State, Indiana, Miami. Welcome to Miami. Good morning, Bayou. I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, girl? Hello, hello. Good to see all of you guys. Texaholic, good to see you. Let's get into this interview. I can't wait to see what you guys think. Put a 1 in chat if you think, or if you've seen this. Put a 2 if you haven't. Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, Florida, Netherlands, Michigan, Alberta, Canada, New Jersey. Oh my goodness. Utah, Australia, PA, Montana, England. That's amazing. We have a lot of people from England and Australia. You guys are amazing. Thank you. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit it now. All right. A lot of you haven't seen it yet, so let's get into it. This is when Chris Proudfoot. So let me set the stage. This is the other PI. Her name is Chloe. Chloe has a very good poker face. So the first portion of this is just Chloe answering websleuth questions. And this is Trisha from websleuth. She's been in true crime for decades. And I think she's the most underrated channel, one of the most underrated channels on YouTube. Illinois, Wyoming, New York, Michigan, UK, Massachusetts. Sadie, hello. I love your name, Sadie. It's so pretty. Okay. So, like I said, this is the PI just answering some basic questions. And then all of a sudden, Chloe right here gets a text that Chris Proudfoot wants to join the panel. And they're like, okay, we're going to do this. And they get him on the panel, and this is what happens. So just so you know, if you ever lived with an asshole who yells and is verbally abusive and aggressive, this might trigger you. Okay? So here we go. This is Chris Proudfoot joining the panel last night on websleuth.
So everybody knows it's you. But I don't know how long you've been listening.
Long enough.
Okay, you sound angry. Talk to me.
Oh, very.
Talk to me. We don't want to get you. The last thing we want to do, Chris, is cause problems between you and Seth. I swear to God.
Well,
so
I understand that, but let me help you with something.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of the information that I've been listening to on your show, coming from Chloe, the questions that are coming through people, it's very sickening and disgusting, to be personally honest with you.
Despicable.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So let me go ahead and address a few things and help y'all out.
Okay.
Since Chloe, you're the PI, I haven't had a chance to talk to you. You haven't even called me. You ain't done anything. First off,
Heather has been
Heather
in
is the
communication.
only one. Heather is the only one who has reached out to me or to my wife.
I
So for you to
actually
sit
reached
on this
out to
show
you
and sit
a
here
month or
and give
so ago.
information
And
that you have, that you don't have all the answers to, is a problem.
Okay. Well, Chris, help us understand, because
He came in hot, and you guys know I'm going to be pausing this, okay? But he came in hot with an attitude. Like, he didn't even come in remotely nice. And look at Chloe. She's like, oh, dear God. I'm sure this is one of the most challenging cases they've ever had to deal with. I don't know what's up with his lisp. It might be the phone he's on. Hi, Mark Klein. It might be the phone he's on. Because a lot of people in the beginning were like, that doesn't even sound like Chris, but it's definitely Chris. Say hello to Summer Lou. Come on up. Come on up. Good morning. Come on up. All right, let's continue.
know Chloe, and Chloe wants to help. And the last thing Chloe would do is want to put out misinformation. And the problem
okay,
is,
I understand that. So let me just smash something real quick.
okay,
Okay.
His words. Let me just smash something real quick. Y'all, tomorrow's live might just drive everybody over the edge. What I got for tomorrow. Smash something really quick.
First and foremost, anything that goes on between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business. I don't care what you think. I don't care what y'all got to say. That'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
okay.
It does not matter what goes on in my house. We're looking for my son. That's real simple.
Your stepson, right?
It doesn't matter. Stepson, my son. All the kids are treated as if they your own. There is no title, a stepson, a son. It does not matter. That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own.
Okay, Chris, may I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and let me tell you why people are asking personal questions about you and your wife. Okay, it's because of the situation in which Sebastian has gone missing, and they're wondering if whatever happened between you and your wife, does it have something to do with Sebastian going missing? I swear to you, it's not to be nosy. It's not to be rude. It's just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian. And
Okay, so let me make this even crystal clear for you.
okay,
Wow.
And everybody out there that's got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions that y'all think you know anything about, when honestly you don't know a damn thing. And that's the problem.
Well,
You
tell
assume,
us.
you speculate, all this crap. You have no idea what me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through, to include Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
okay,
Because it's the vile, disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouth. Yes, I'm a very pissed off stepfather to this whole situation.
okay, and I understand, and I hear what you're saying. But again,
So let me help y'all with something. Because
okay,
y'all said some shit that's really, it's really none of your damn business. But since you brought it up, I'm clear it.
okay.
My parents didn't go to Alaska 2 days after he went missing.
I don't think
Why my
anybody said
parents
that.
went to Alaska was
That is
because
not-
my stepfather went for work.
Okay, nobody said they went 2 days after he went missing.
Oh, no,
They
it's
said,
out there. Trust me, because I have
Okay, I
terabytes.
did not say that.
nobody
I didn't say
said that
you.
here.
I
Okay,
said people.
okay,
Now, I have terabytes of videos of Seth on here saying some vile stuff.
He's saving terabytes. You hear this? I have terabytes of video of Seth saying stuff. Who cares? He's using this as a huge deflection, in my opinion. It doesn't matter what Seth says. He's not worried about finding Sebastian.
I've got videos of everybody and their comments out here.
Who cares?
but
Trust
let's.
me. What I'm bringing to you is not that I'm just pulling stuff out of the air.
I understand. No, and Chris, I'm glad you cleared that up, That's a
So,
good.
and by the way, they didn't go for a month.
Okay.
They went for 2 weeks. My stepdad went on business. My mom went with him, but it's really nobody's business.
Well, but Chris, let me, and please understand. I swear to God, I'm coming from a place of understanding because I've been doing this for years. Okay.
Okay, here Trisha's cat. Even Chris upset the cat. Yes, he makes it all about him. He's awful. He's awful.
Here's the thing. When you ask the public for help, they're going to look at everything and try and figure out what happened to Sebastian. And let me from an outsider looking in, it's okay. His parents left town shortly after. Was there a reason? Did they take Sebastian with him? It is speculation that I am sorry it's hurtful to you, and I understand it. And that's why it's important that you clear it up. Just clear it up. Nobody's trying to be hurtful or mean. I promise you. We've all been asked to help find Sebastian.
The cat's saying, let me at him. Let me at him.
And this is what we do. We try and think outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on.
But
it is
your
not
problem with thinking outside of the box does nothing but cause speculation. It causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything, that you're taking sources away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that my family owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? Not you.
Okay, now I have to say I agree on this. The whole cemetery, mortuary, crematorium thing is absolutely ridiculous. Even if his family was in the funeral home business, they're not going to be able to hide shit. Okay, let's give an example. Chad Daybell was a cemetery sexton, and his ass couldn't even get away with hiding a body. Okay, there's no way in hell, even if his family was in the funeral service, that they did anything with Sebastian's body. Okay, so I am with him on this, and it is fucking ridiculous on this part.
I promise you, we've all been asked to help find Sebastian. And this is what we do. We try and think outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on.
But
it is
your
not
problem with thinking outside of the box does nothing but cause speculation. It causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything, that you're taking sources away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that my family owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? Not you. I'm saying the public.
And so that, Chris,
they come up with shit,
that's why
Chris.
It is great that you're here because we want to clear this up and help you get it out. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris. When it comes to the general public, they're always going to be calling in crazy tips and doing crappy things. And all we can do is say, that's not us. We are not doing that.
Well,
It doesn't
and
matter,
I
though.
did want to clear
That
it
does
up.
not matter.
I
Doesn't
did want
matter
to clear it
one
up,
iota.
Chris. I
One
did reach
iota.
out to you on March 17th, publicly and privately. You responded to me publicly. You asked me to ask my question publicly. I did. You didn't respond. I reached out to you privately again. So I have reached out to you.
Where in the public? Where?
I reached out to you on Facebook. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger privately. You've never read my message.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of the bullshit that I get in Facebook.
No, that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
not-
I just want to make it clear that
Can I explain to you?
yeah.
You send me messages along with thousands of other people.
I understand that. And that's why I took it public. And you did respond to me and asked me to ask my question publicly because you wanted whatever answer you were going to give to be public to clear it up.
What was the question that you asked me? Since I neglected your question.
And
what
that's not
was
what
your
I'm
question?
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to make it clear that I haven't not tried to reach out to you.
And Chris, I know you're mad. God, I can feel it. I can hear it, and I understand it. You've got to believe me when I tell you this. please, if you can dial it back a bit and get us some of these answers and let us help you clear up this bull so it doesn't interfere anymore. And like I said, you're always going to have crazy people interfering and coming up with rumors, and it's so maddening and frustrating, and I hate it. It pisses me off more than anything, and anybody that knows me knows
It
that.
pisses you off? You're not in our shoes.
I know.
You haven't been in our shoes.
Why does he have to say shoes? Shoes. You're not in our shoes. Sebastian wasn't in shoes either.
Okay, well, you don't know that.
Bad choice of
but I
words.
haven't been in your shoes and missing a child, no. But believe me, I can understand what you're going through, and what I'm saying is we can help you, Chris. We can help you, all right? Anybody here in this chat that asked about a cemetery, it's because somebody else brought it up. Just tell us.
Exactly. And my question comes back to, where do these people come up with this crazy crap?
That's a $1 million question. I don't know.
Yeah, online.
Let's clear it up. Let's clear it up for you. Let us help you.
You're saying, I believe, Chloe, you're saying online. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry, I said that. There's a lot of
Stacy. Yeah.
crazy people
Who's
online.
Stacy?
And just to let you know, I understand you get a lot of messages. I reached out to you when Sebastian first went missing too, to see if we could help in any way. Oh,
Yeah, but Chris, I understand your anger, but I'm telling you, please let us help you, okay? We're not here to point fingers at you or whatever, but the problem is, and this is what we were talking about earlier, Chris, when the public is asked to help and then no information is provided, then people, because of social media, and social media is here to stay, unfortunately, this never used to be a problem.
I mean,
never.
she's right.
Until social media, and it's terrible. I will be the first one to admit it's terrible, but let us help you clear it up, okay? So you don't own a cemetery and you don't own a funeral home, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, everybody, stop with that bullshit, all right?
Here, let me add this to the thing. We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property.
Okay, wait. Let me. Okay, so he's gonna address some of the ridiculous rumors. Okay, he's pissed. Listen.
But let us help you clear it up, okay? So you don't own a cemetery and you don't own a funeral home, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, everybody, stop with that bullshit, all right?
Here, let me add this to the thing. We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property.
Mm-hmm.
We don't own a private yacht. What else do you guys want to come up saying that we own? Like we're millionaires or something, like we've got this money growing off trees, which, by the way, it'd be great if we did, because I guarantee we wouldn't need anybody's help, because he'd have been home by now.
Right. No,
wait, if you were a millionaire, he'd be home by now. How's that? Fuck you talking about, dude? Now, I believe it. They're not millionaires. They might be upper middle class, but they're not millionaires. I think it's funny. I think that's funny. But what is he talking about?
We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property. Mm-hmm. We don't own a private yacht. What else do you guys want to come up saying that we own? Like we're millionaires or something, like we've got this money growing off trees, which, by the way, it'd be great if we did, because I guarantee we wouldn't need anybody's help, because he'd have been home by now.
No one asked about the motorcycle shopping.
No, I completely understand. Okay, but understand, when the public is asked to help with social media, this is what social media does, and it can be your
worst nightmare
or your best friend.
Yes.
And let us help it. And I can give you examples. I can have you talk to people that have said, yes, the people at websleuth, they've helped us. They've been great. Okay.
Yes.
But hey guys, I understand why Chris is angry, because it's coming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Horrible crap about him. Okay. And his family. I get the anger. So we're going to help you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let my cat out before she drives everybody crazy. So I apologize.
She's
so
gonna
hang
let
on.
the cat out.
Chloe, is there anything you'd like to say while I let my cat out before she drives me nuts?
I will ask the question. I'll actually read you the message I sent you. So I
Thanks,
this was
Pixie.
March 17th. I'm Good afternoon, Chris. I wrote this in a chat you're involved with, but I'm worried it may be lost because there's so much chatter. First, let me say I'm a Tennessee private investigator and have been praying and actively bringing awareness to Sebastian from day one. His case is near and dear to my heart. I had a question. I know Sebastian went to his dad's every other weekend or so. Did you come home on those weekends? Not a specific date, but just in general. Or did Katie come and stay with you? Are you often gone during the week? Just curious about Sebastian's day-to-day dynamic with his parents. And then I messaged you again after I posted that question publicly. You asked me to post it publicly, and I did, and then I wasn't answered. And I said, hey, Chris, just messaging again. So it'll be at the top. I know you said you get a ton of messages.
So, and again, we understand that you get a ton of messages. We absolutely understand.
So he ignored Chloe's messages and he's like, I didn't get your message. I got thousands of people messaging me. And she's like, well, I did it publicly and I sent you another message, so it should be at the top of your list.
And that. Is there somebody else in our chat room? I can't see it.
Heather.
Heather, do you want to come up? I guess she does.
I'm here.
Oh, she is? Okay. Oh, hi, Heather. I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Okay.
There was a lot of talk. I didn't really have a chance to say hello.
And this Heather is the other private investigator.
Yeah, I know who Heather is.
Okay. Heather, would you like to say anything?
He's like, I know who Heather is. He's such a dick, man. He can't even greet people nicely.
Well, so I spoke with them earlier today, and obviously, as you know, Mr. Proudfoot did message me and ask for a number so he could come in. And I think that it is past due. I think that it's a good thing for Mr. Proudfoot to address some of the allegations that are being made. I would like to have the opportunity, like I said to him earlier today, it's good for us, Chloe and I, to have access to them, to be able to, when we get this information, instead of having to go around them to other sources to try to get the answers to those questions, to actually be able to come to him for those answers and try to clear them up directly. So I'm glad he's here. I really am. Even though he's
I'm too. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely
angry, I'm glad he's here, and I've spoken to him before, and he's been very upset with me before. But once he calms down, I think maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can get somewhere.
Okay, so let's address something real quick with your viewers who say I'm drunk and belligerent. No, I'm just a pissed off dad.
He's reading the chat. He says, your chatters that say I'm drunk and belligerent. What makes anybody think that?
So let's get that real clear.
Hey, everybody, mods.
So if you want to keep your comments and that's how your audience wants to play this game,
No.
then no, I'm not going to clear up anything or turn the chat off. If you want to clear this up, let's get it right. And let's take all the stupid people out of this equation and answer the deals.
Okay, Chris, hang on.
Simmer down.
Mods, if anybody says anything rude about any of our guests, I want you to ban them. Kick them out.
I'm going to go grab some
Okay.
coffee.
It's like this. If you ain't got nothing factual about me to say, keep your mouth shut.
Well, okay, but Chris, they don't know if it's factual.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the best recommendation I can give them.
Well, but they want to ask questions, and let me tell you why.
Questions are one thing, not a statement where I'm belligerent and I'm drunk, because guess what, folks? I could read the comments that you post.
I know. And I'm telling everybody, if anybody says anything rude, they're booted from chat. Mods, if you could boot them. Stacy, could you get Ping over here to help us? Anybody?
And the other part of this is if it's nothing in regards to Sebastian, I really don't give a shit, people.
No, and I agree, Chris. And I mean, I don't know if you heard, I didn't want to discuss.
Oh, I asked a lot of questions and she wouldn't discuss it. Absolutely.
I think it's semantics at this point.
Thank you, Laura.
He's been missing for 2 months, and I don't know how his bathroom habits are going to help me find him.
Exactly. Mind you that children with autism do have bladder and bowel movement issues to control themselves. But
Absolutely.
I'm not really worried that people can't read and do their own.
Well, but Chris, let me tell you.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and care about that either.
Let me tell you why that was brought up. Okay, it's because of what Seth said. Seth said at his house he didn't.
Yes, you are correct. No, you are correct. You just hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
You just hit the nail on the head. Seth has opened his mouth He has said a lot of things he probably shouldn't. And he needs to learn how to close it because, quite honestly, none of that has anything to do with finding Sebastian.
Right. And you know what? But Chris, let's keep it that way, because Seth has said he is not going to do that anymore, and he hasn't.
Bullshit. Let me explain to you why. That
Okay.
that Sunday when I went to that vigil and spoke to Seth,
Oh, here we go.
very calmly, very respectfully, we were having a good conversation.
Listen to-
While everybody stood behind me and would snap them little pictures and stuff, Heather came up in the conversation. She saw us. It was not a aggressive conversation. It was actually a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it wasn't 3 hours later. Seth was on YouTube on somebody else's show, sitting there. He's blaming Katie, my wife, for Sebastian's disappearance.
Yo, this dude right there where he says, my wife. Ooh. This dude, can you imagine him in private? Thank you so much, Heather. He gives little D energy. Oh, for sure. Heather.
Seth was on YouTube on somebody else's show, sitting there. He's blaming Katie, my wife, for Sebastian's disappearance.
Scary.
Now, unless you got cold hard facts, which you don't open your mouth. Because all you're doing is making an ass out of yourself because you're assuming.
Say that everybody is grieving and handling this situation differently. I won't comment on if I agree with any of the ways that people are acting at this point. I do think, in the last week we've been trying to build a bridge, and I know it's difficult and it's not going to be just clean and perfect, but I think if we can all just refocus and
Thank you, Flo.
try to not focus on the other things people have done that make you angry.
So here, let me explain to y'all something that y'all don't get a chance to see, because unfortunately we're meeting on a very bad circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Tell us
Seth
what we don't see.
can contest to this.
Seth can contest.
So Seth comes to Tennessee. He gets his job in the security force. He wants to be law enforcement. He has had a dream of being law enforcement since I have known him.
Okay.
There was a chance for something that came up, and I called him and said, look, I think you should apply for this. I think you'd be great at it, which is the job he currently has.
So he's taking credit. Remember I asked that before in another live? I was like, did the Proudfoots help him get this job or something? But he's taking credit for finding Seth that job at the jail.
He gets his job in the security force. He wants to be law enforcement. He has had a dream of being law enforcement since I have known him.
Clapping, yep.
Okay.
There was a chance for something that came up, and I called him and said, look, I think you should apply for this. I think you'd be great at it, which is the job he currently has.
Okay.
Now, he gets accepted. He's excited. He calls me and says, thank you, man. I really appreciate you helping me that. I have been a supporter and a cheerleader for him this whole time.
Cheerleader?
But y'all don't get to see that. And
He's Seth's biggest cheerleader now? I've been his cheerleader. Oh my God. Can we get a meme with Chris Proudfoot with pom-poms? Please? Please? He's Seth's biggest cheerleader. I'm calling. He's flinging bullshit with that one.
I really appreciate you helping me that. I have been a supporter and a cheerleader for him this whole time. But y'all don't get to see that. And Seth's not going to tell you that. During the middle of the training, Seth decided one day he wants to call me, tell me he doesn't think he's going to complete it.
Now he's throwing Seth under the bus with his job, saying that he wasn't going to be able to complete the training.
But I told him, I said, look, you're going to sit there and you're going to go back in there and you're going to complete this training because your son thinks you hang the moon and the sun. So you need to go in there and prove to your son that dreams and goals can be met.
Mm-hmm.
So he's guiding Seth like a son because he wants his son to look up to him? Or maybe was Chris trying to get Seth a job so that he could get rid of Sebastian out of his house and send him to live with his dad? Like, get his dad in a position where he could take him on because Chris didn't want him around.
These nuts.
I have
Right.
been very, very supportive of him trying to do these things. I have told him on Sunday I supported him then. I would support him now.
What
But
a
I
nice
will
guy.
not stand by and watch somebody be straight up disrespectful and accuse people and say things that have absolutely no bearing.
I think those are frogs at the freaking campsite, aren't they?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. Well, again, I just, if I could just
Yeah,
step in.
I mean, Chris, I would love for us to refocus and talk about not necessarily the investigation that we can't talk about, but what has been done, what you understand about dog tracks, what you understand about the circumstances. We could go on and on all night, and I know we have a lot of really big feelings that are valid. But I think Heather would agree. We would just really love to redirect this back to Sebastian, because
Thank you. Yes, back to Sebastian.
the anger doesn't solve anything.
It's not truly all anger. It's disappointment.
No, and I'm
to be
not
honest with
saying
you.
that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying at this point it's just
not helping find Sebastian.
yeah, and it's like an energy vampire, and we're all tired. And I can't imagine how tired you are. I know how tired I am. So I would love to redirect back to what you know and what you think.
It does get crazier.
And then I have some questions that I hope you can answer that will help clear things up.
I'll answer questions unless it's something I have been told by law enforcement that I cannot answer. I've said that
Understood.
from day one.
Look at
and
the
I'm telling
screen says Proudfoot. It says Chloe PI and Chris Proudfoot.
you now, it has not changed. So ask your questions.
Did you pass the polygraph?
No one said Seth was homeless at the time. Skinny, no one said that. No one said he was homeless. I just said maybe he was trying to get him a better job so he could support Sebastian and have him full time. I don't know why he's taking credit for that. That's the only thing I can think of, is he's trying to make Seth seem inept.
Yes, I sure did, with flying colors.
And it was TBI that gave it to you?
Yes.
Hear that?
That are valid. But I think Heather would agree. We would just really love to redirect this back to Sebastian, because
That's right,
the
Island.
anger doesn't solve anything.
It's not truly all anger. It's disappointment.
No, and I'm
to be
not
honest with
saying
you.
that. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying
With flying colors.
at this point it's just
Melanie.
It's just not helping find Sebastian.
yeah, and it's like an energy vampire, and we're all tired. And I can't imagine how tired you are. I know how tired I am.
Imagine.
So I would love to redirect back to what you know and what you think.
And then I have some questions that I hope you can answer that will help clear things up.
I'll answer questions unless it's something I have been told by law enforcement that I cannot answer. I've said that
Understood.
from day one, and I'm telling you now, it has not changed. So ask your questions.
Did you pass the polygraph?
Yes, I sure did, with flying colors.
And it was TBI that gave it to you?
Yes, TBI gave it to me along with another agency.
Okay.
No,
Very
that
good.
was kept quiet because it's nobody. We kept it all quiet.
Well, no, I think it's great that you're telling us now.
Right. And, Seth knew about it the day on that Tuesday when I took it and passed it. They called and told him that I passed it.
And okay, well, maybe he was told he couldn't say anything.
No, he was told he could say something. They told him so he would try to keep his rhetoric down. That's why they told him. And I have the text message where they asked me if they could tell him. And I said, I have listened to y'all from the beginning. I'm listening to you now. So please do what you feel is best.
Okay. So you passed the polygraph with flying colors. Let me ask you this. People in chat are asking, did you tear down any posters of Sebastian, you or anyone you know?
Ooh, I didn't hear this question.
That is a straight up no. And I can't believe people would think I would tear down flyers or posters of my missing stepson.
Okay,
Which,
but again,
you know, another thing
And
which
I
is kind
will.
of funny that you bring this up because some people,
Now it's missing stepson. It was son
and
before.
yes, they are pertinent to the investigation, have said that there's a video floating around of me tearing these things down. If you got it, post it. Because
I
if you
agree.
ain't got it, shut up.
And I mean, I'll say on record from myself, I have never seen that.
And
Exactly.
I also want to
Because
say,
it doesn't exist.
I'm sure it doesn't.
and I want to say on record that in my conversation earlier with Chris and Katie, Katie said she had one request of me, and that was that when I do these interviews, that I, at some point in the interview, remind people to hand out the flyers and put them up
Oh,
everywhere.
what a nice lady she
Please,
is.
all we're begging. I don't know how to beg you even more. I don't know what it's going to take for America, the world, whoever to understand. We are begging you to hang posters, talk to whomever, spread the word,
Listen.
keep your eyes open, and when you find something, don't wait 2 weeks to make a report. Because let me tell you something, that's what's been going on.
It has?
Some of the leads that are coming in are 2 and 3 weeks old.
Why do you
Instead
think
of
that
when
is?
you see something, you pick up the phone immediately
Right.
and you call the cops.
Yeah.
Don't call your best friend and
Right.
say, hey, I think I've seen this kid. Don't call these investigators. No offense, Chloe and Heather. You don't call them first. You don't call Seth. You don't call anybody but law enforcement only and make your report
And
immediately.
I will say,
Thank you, Mega.
You know, we've received tips that maybe haven't been called into law enforcement, but we call them in. And we also receive tips that have been called into law enforcement, but the person that called the tip in didn't get any feedback when they were told they were going to be called back. And so they were worried that maybe it didn't get looked into enough. So I don't want you to think we're not
for the record,
passing
right?
tips
So
to law
for the record, I think what folks need to understand, because no, y'all don't know, y'all don't have all the information that Katie and I and some of the information that Seth has. You don't, and I understand that, and I'm sorry that we can't give you every single thing under the sun. I wished we truly could, but unfortunately we can't.
Right.
But when you do make a report,
Law enforcement is not going to say, hey, Chris, this is what we know, but you can only talk about these things and not these things. They're not going to do that. They're not going to jeopardize the investigation by giving him information that he can't talk about. He's a liar. This dude is an abusive liar.
and you give them a name and a number, you tell them the location, you tell them a very detailed description and everything. You don't expect to get a call back from law enforcement, period. Don't.
Mhm.
Because I'm sorry, but they don't have the time to stop and answer every single call back when they're looking for missing children. Not just ours, but there's so many children out there that are missing.
Right.
So I'm sorry that some of y'all feel that you deserve an answer, but it's not. And I'm sorry, it's just going to sound rude when I say this, but you don't deserve an answer. You'll get the answer when we get the answer. The family gets the answer on a missing boy, not
Okay.
strangers. They're not calling y'all to tell you.
Chris, this is what I have to tell when I talk to law enforcement, and it's difficult to accept, and I still have trouble with it too. This is the way it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But again, when you ask the public for help, people are going to start looking, and they look at the last place that Sebastian was known to be.
Okay, so that's what I want to really stress. After listening to this, and we're only halfway through or whatever, you guys are probably going to be on the same page that even though I know someone keeps saying Seth fell asleep during a poly, even if he did, the private investigator said that he was on video at work. I haven't heard law enforcement say that, but she's like, he works at the jail and he was seen and they can't take their phones in. So regardless, the last one to see him was his mother. His mother is sitting silent while this man goes off. And I have a feeling that's what she did when Chris disciplined Sebastian. She sat silent, or she helped hold him down while Chris did what he wanted to do, his discipline, which I think is abuse. But he gets into that. He talks about how his whack wasn't abuse because he knows the difference.
And then it just goes from there. And I'm sorry, it shouldn't, but that's how it does. And we can clear a lot up tonight. And I'm so
let's
glad.
do this.
Okay, BW says, Chris, are you frustrated with law enforcement, or do you feel like you're getting adequate information from them?
I'm not upset with law enforcement. I'm going to tell you right now, the agencies that are involved have thrown every asset that they have at this. What people don't
Thank you,
understand, this
Heidi.
has actually probably been one of the largest searches for a missing child in Sumner County history, period, and probably in the state with the number of assets. Do I think they're doing everything they can? You bet your sweet tail I am. You can bet on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I mean, just short of making everybody in this United States go hand in hand, start on one side of the country
Slapping
and
again.
sweep through hand in hand, that's probably about, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I'm very happy with what they've done. I know there are some other folks that don't feel that way, and I'm sorry because they are not in the know.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to remember one thing. They're not going to expend every single asset, every single minute of the day on one child.
Of
You
course.
have to keep in mind how many children are missing, and it has to be equally dissolved among everybody. And I'm not going to lie to you. It hurt. It hurt the day that they came in on day 8 and told us that they have to pull back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Wayne Kersey says, these ladies trash Chris and he don't let them get to him. They are all hurting. I don't know how they get, though, this and back to Chris. They never keep it about the kid. You think that they're not getting to him? Oh, I think this is eating away at him. That's why he's so belligerent and mean. I mean, why would you be this defensive? I'll tell you why, because he looks guilty as fuck, and so does his wife. That's why.
I mean, it ain't nothing. There was more of a gut punch to take than being told that. I mean, it.
So we have a gut punch. We have, let me smash this out for you. This dude's, read between the lines.
I can imagine. That's because you're not expecting them to say that. You're not expecting them to say, yeah, we're going to pull back and put less.
I do expect that, but here's the thing. I'm also a realistic person.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them to expend every aspect and every asset and every single second of the day finding Sebastian. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
understand. I want to read you a comment, and I like this comment from Brittany Cole. It says, sometimes you have to block out the noise, Chris. The public will do what they do, and that's the truth. A lot of us are just trying to offer help. It's the bad ones that you remember, and not all the much bigger crowd of good people who are not doing this.
And I mean, weeks ago, somebody asked me what I thought, and I had some information from court documents that could have been a lot of quote unquote tea for the internet to have. And I refused to release it because
Court documents on, let me ask you this, on who? Me, Seth, Katie? Okay.
I refused to release it because, number one, I didn't think it would help find Sebastian. Number two, it was a deeply personal
Right.
thing. And also,
When she was young?
yes.
Okay, so
Let
let me
finish, and I referred to the Michael Vaughn case, where his parents got completely slaughtered.
Yes, they
by
did.
the public for a very long time, and they didn't do anything to that boy. I do not believe
They didn't.
Now they have proof, but they just got slaughtered. And if people can say without a shadow of a doubt that they just know what somebody did, and they don't. Well, if you know, take it to the police and let's solve this.
Yeah. Tell all the Sherlock Holmes and Watsons out there, since they have their PhDs in criminal justice and forensics and all.
Wow. All the Sherlocks out there. Are you kidding me? Oh, they have their degrees. Okay, mister, I went to heavy equipment school.
People can say without a shadow of a doubt that they just know what somebody did, and they don't. Well, if you know, take it to the police and let's solve this.
Yeah. Tell all the Sherlock Holmes and Watsons out there, since they have their PhDs in criminal justice and forensics and all this. Since they've got it, by all means, we welcome you to the case. We welcome you to come in here and show us and show these law enforcement officers that have so many years of experience that they don't know anything. We'd love for you to do it.
Wow.
Chris, this isn't helping.
I know it's not helping, but this goes back to what's being asked.
Let's get people on your side.
I love how she's talking to him, Chris. This isn't helping. She really does a good job of calming him down. I wouldn't have the patience that she has with him. I would have been asking him tough questions and he probably would have dropped off. But she's very good at keeping him on the line and keeping him engaged.
And then we can all work together. Because I know
that's just the thing. This isn't about sides. This is not about sides.
Exactly, and that's
this is not.
That's what we're
this is about
to
Sebastian.
You know,
oh my God!
But if we're not,
he just slapped when he said Sebastian. And like someone said in chat, I can't help but picture him whacking Sebastian when he does that sick shit.
You know, we don't have advertising on this channel. We don't ask for money. We do it because we want to help. But it doesn't help.
So can I ask you a question on your show?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everybody else when we went on their shows. So I'm on your show and I'm sure it is blown up. So the more people that come on, the more money this show makes.
No, I make no money.
We don't make money. We're not monetized.
Zero money.
It's not monetized.
And we
You're
don't
not a
take
monetary
donations.
show.
How dare him? How dare him? The more people that show up, the more money you make. She shut that shit down, didn't she? She's like, I'm not monetized. F you, Proudfoot.
No, they don't monetize.
No,
we do not monetize.
Okay.
We do not monetize. It costs me money to do this.
Yeah, and
WebSleuth
So the reason why I asked
so
that,
I will go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's completely free,
Well,
and the website is as well.
No advertising.
So the
Boom.
reason why I'm asking that question, okay,
Mm-hmm.
is because if people are true to what they say in their heart, especially those, and they know who I'm talking about, the clickers,
The clickers?
the shows that make this money.
Yep.
I would love for you to make a public announcement for every dollar you've made. If you truly do this for the goodness of your heart, every dollar that you have made, you should donate it to the cause.
Fuck you, Chris.
Not to your personal gain.
Right.
When you get,
we don't.
you know what?
Like I said, we make zero
we don't
money. It
make
costs
money.
us money.
You know
I
what, Chris
appreciate-
Proudfoot? We're going to continue to talk about your missing stepson, your missing son, or the missing boy. Whatever it is today you're going to call Sebastian Rogers. Because you didn't think of him as your son. You didn't treat him like your own. And if you did treat him like your own, you should never, ever have a child in your custody again. Again. This man is a ticking time bomb and he's dangerous. And his mama should not be proud.
And I respect that. Thank y'all ladies for that. I will give you
Y'all
that.
ladies.
So, but no, I understand what you're saying. But again, it's just like with, Nancy Grace or with news media, they report the news. Unfortunately, this is social media. And I agree, there's people out there, and I'm not going to even say their names, but they know who they are. They do this crap to get clickbait so they can make more money, and it's disgusting.
There's always going to be
Absolutely.
Very much
clickbaiters.
so.
Always.
Very much so.
Can't get rid of
And
them.
I want to add something to that. Like I told Chris earlier, everybody that's involved in this case is under a microscope. I've been ripped to shreds. They've been ripped to shreds. Seth has been ripped to shreds. I mean, like
Heather's
the public
like,
gets a hold of somebody in the spotlight and they dig into them and they pull up anything that they can
the truth.
about them.
We do.
And some of it's true and some of it's not. It doesn't help find Sebastian. And that's where we all need to get on the same page and regroup. And
But you know what does help find Sebastian? Knowing the dynamics. It may not help find him, but it may help uncover what happened to him. And why should YouTubers not get paid for using their brains and talking about a case? He's the worst.
I hate you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
That's how I feel about you, Chris Proudfoot, and you should never have a child in your care again, ever.
just make the decision right here, right now, to ignore the rumors, to clear up misinformation, and just to get on track so that we can start
Tell
trying
him,
to find
Flo.
Sebastian.
Now,
Right. If we can keep parties involved in this investigation focused on that and staying off of YouTube and other aspects of social media and playing the game, okay,
Yes.
Let's piss
I'm
him off.
sure we would all
Look, Chris, I got a
benefit
super chat.
greatly, and this would completely change narratives and the direction, and it would straight focus completely on Sebastian.
Well, let's do this. This podcast or Web Sleuths podcast that we're on right now, we can make a pact right now. That's what we're doing right here, right?
But here's the other thing. I appreciate you willing to make that pact, but you know exactly
He wants us to pony up money, but he hasn't put a dime to a reward fund. You know what, Chris?
Directly off.
who I'm referring to. That needs to be done publicly as well then.
well, all we can do is what we can do here.
True.
Wait till Seth comes on, guys.
But Chris, there's a couple of questions, and then there is somebody.
Fire away.
There is somebody that wants to come on the
Fire
panel, and
away.
I don't know if you want them on here, but
Who is
I'll
it?
ask. Well, let me ask you these questions first, okay? Everybody wants to know, what do you think happened to Sebastian? What do you think happened?
I don't know.
Mm.
For the love of God, I wished I had an answer. I wished we had something to go off of,
So,
but we
Chris,
don't.
I asked Seth this a few weeks ago, and
Mhm.
so just no
I'm gonna
thought
hear you out.
in your gut, spit it out. Doesn't matter if it sounds completely off the wall. What is your knee-jerk reaction?
Thank you,
What
Carrie.
happened?
Sebastian walked out of the house.
Oh, this is interesting. So she says, what's your knee-jerk reaction to what happened? And thank you so much, Carrie and Flo, for your super chats. Chris, if you're listening, look at there's super chats rolling in. And I'm monetized, motherfucker.
Stepped off the porch and has vanished into thin air.
He stepped off the fucking porch and vanished in thin air. That's his theory. That's his theory. He walked off the front porch and vanished in thin air. Is this guy, does he think that everybody is dumb? Thank you so much, Island Thrifts. Grow some thicker skin and move past your own inflamed ego. Where is Sebastian? Where is he? Chris is a knee jerk. Mary, they said it was an anonymous business. That's his freaking theory. What? Put this guy in the interrogation room.
Sebastian walked out of the house. stepped off the porch and has vanished into thin air.
How do you know he was on the porch?
That is what I think, because that is what I know.
That's what I know.
But what do you mean?
You know that he stepped off the porch and disappeared? Did he spin really fast in circles? And then vanish? Is he in reality? How does he know he used the front door? What? Alcohol talking. Alcohol talking.
No.
I've been part of the investigation since day one.
Okay.
And if anybody else out there that's got some information in regards to where Sebastian has went, because last time I checked, there's not one shred of evidence.
You know he walked off the porch is what I'm asking.
I'm telling you, unless this kid is just in the thin air on my front porch, he sure had to go somewhere, so he had to walk off the front porch. Now, if you're trying to insinuate somebody was in my house or somebody's taking that child outside of my house, say
I'm not
that.
Insinuating anything. I'm asking, do you know that he walked out your front door? Do you know?
That he went out the front door?
Or any door?
Is that what you're asking?
Do you know?
Yeah, that's what we're asking.
Okay, thank you. I just need a confirmation. I don't play games here.
Okay.
So, just to make this real crystal clear, there's a back door. Every door in the house.
Thank you, Terry.
When Katie got up that morning, was locked.
Okay.
Since it's already out there, there's a keypad on the front door. You don't need a key to unlock and lock my front door.
Mm-hmm.
But you need a key to lock every other door. And every other door was locked, folks.
So
Did Katie do that?
Do what?
Did Katie make sure all the other doors were locked? And could have Sebastian just walked out? Could he have walked out the front door?
Every door was locked.
So what you're saying is that the only possibility is the front door. Is that what you're saying?
I am saying the most conceivable way possible that this makes sense is that he walked out the front door.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Did he walk out without his shoes on? Is that what you believe?
My statement earlier is real simple. Sebastian walked out of the house not wearing any shoes.
And disappeared on the front porch.
Could he have been running and scared of something?
Don't know. He could. It's a young boy. It's dark outside. God only knows.
Okay. Now, there is somebody that has been asking to come on, and Gray Hughes. He would like to talk to you. Would you like
You can bring that man on board because I've talked to him. I respect him, and I will talk to him.
Gray, I just sent you the Facebook link.
All right.
So jump on up. Okay, Gray?
All right, so I'm going to skip past that because he just says basically, my mom hit me with a wooden spoon and a belt, and she was the best mom ever, and I don't think Chris Proudfoot's wrong, and I'm an asshole, and I've always been an asshole.
Okay, so are you saying that...
and why he's up there to talk about this video that nobody wants to talk about?
When anybody comes on and they are aggressive.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so...
We're just going to skip over him because he's an idiot.
Running around, chanting and screaming.
I agree. It's horrible.
That's what I think. Yeah.
So
it should not be that way.
That's just kind of where I'm coming from. I appreciate communicating with him. We've had nothing but good conversations, and that's it. I mean, that's all I can do. And I've never seen anything that made me go, God, ooh, that's it's weird. I mean, I don't know. I watch the same things you guys have. But anyways, yeah. See you later, guys out there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was getting roasted in the chat. Roasted.
Here, Gray.
Bye, Gray.
These two are like him and Chris were separated.
Does anybody know where Seth went?
I'm working on it.
Okay, thanks.
I do know. I think up in his area, he doesn't have like the greatest signal because a lot of times when we talk, his phone he will drop.
Do you want to ask him if he wants to call me rather than go on the internet? Just call me on the phone, and I can put him on and be a really, really strong signal.
Let's get Seth on here.
So please go ahead.
All right. Maybe, Chris, the communication needs to be a little bit more prompt. If I send you an email on Monday and Tuesday. I'm not willing to wait a week to get a response back. I mean, that's unacceptable when we're trying to find Sebastian, buddy.
I understand what you're saying. I respect that. But when it comes to you asking people to come into my house on my property, who I don't know Adam from Eve, and I really don't care what certification, who can vouch for these people, I don't care.
Okay, so apparently the emails that we heard about was that he wanted Seth wanted to bring some dogs and some search teams and a bunch of professionals into the Proudfoot yard and the home. And they're not letting him. They're not letting him.
I'm going to do exactly what I have always been doing. You send that to me,
Okay,
we're going to
well,
review it, and then we're going to send it to
I'm going
law
to interrupt you,
enforcement.
Chris.
Let
Okay.
law enforcement go that route, and then when the law enforcement comes,
Speak for us doesn't
Hold on.
need to be on your property.
Hold
see,
on,
this
Chris.
is
Chris, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Seth, what did you say?
I said the person to be our spokesman to speak for all three of us doesn't need to be on your property.
Mm.
Okay,
But
Chris.
yeah,
You're correct.
So Seth is like, well, another thing, it wasn't just searching, it was wanting to have the spokesperson speak for all of us.
you are
spoken
very correct.
to him
I have spoken to him,
when
and I'm going to make this public. I am back working, and I have work hours. I also have to sleep, and unfortunately, I'm on the opposite schedule of you. So respect that. I will do what I
When did
can
you speak
as
with
I
him,
can
Chris?
when I can.
I'm sorry, Seth, go ahead.
when did you speak with him, Chris?
What has that got to do with finding Sebastian?
Slaps again?
If he's going to be our
Why does
spokesperson.
he frickin' slap when he says Sebastian? And then Seth is like, why? When did you talk to this guy? They have some guy that I hope it's not Tim Mullen from summerwells.com. But he's challenging him and it's saying, well, then when did you talk to him? And he says, what does this have to do with finding Sebastian? Dude, the guy's a liar. He knows exactly what happened to this kid. He does.
When did you speak with him, Chris?
What has that got to do with finding Sebastian?
If he's going to be our spokesperson, I was just asking when you spoke with him.
I haven't come up with an answer yet. We've spoke with him. We told him we'll get back with him after we've done some consideration and talk with law enforcement. We'll get back to him and we'll let him know our decision.
So,
I know you're on board with that. I do. I mean, I know you're 1,000% on board with Mr. Mathis. I got that. I'm not taking that away from you.
Okay, so notice how his attitude changed when he wants Seth to back off. He wants Seth to back off of this wanting to search and wanting to have a spokesperson who is the go-between the Proudfoots and Seth. And he's nicer to Seth because he thinks that's going to pacify Seth to lay off and buy him some time. This guy is so transparent. So transparent. It's excuse after excuse after excuse. So he can just drag it out. The way he slaps his hand or stomps his feet, he's like a little baby. Get him some white hard bottom shoes.
Babies with them high top white shoes on, with the real hard bottom.
He is nothing but a man baby. And he probably, the only woman he respects on this planet is his mother. He's like that Psycho movie. You know, Bates and his mom. He's like Roberta and Brian. They have a weird attachment to their mothers, and it's the only freaking woman that they respect. It's weird. I mean, he's on his fifth woman. When is he gonna give it up? Fucker.
I understand like every marriage is different and husband-wife aspect. You seem very protective of Katie and her having conversations with or without you. But like I said before you came on, I do believe that Katie is the one who, and I'm not saying it's because she knows what happened to Sebastian, but she was the last person that was with him.
She was right there.
And so she does hold the most information, at least up until the point that he went missing.
What information do you think she holds?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Well, then do me a favor. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
Don't pour gravy on the mashed potatoes. Just serve the stuff up.
Chris, I'm really trying to be respectful.
Are you fucking kidding me? Don't put gravy on the mashed potatoes. Just serve the stuff up. Where does this dickhead get his sayings from? Is there like a book out there that's called the Book of Douchebag Sayings that includes crystal clear, bring it on board? What else does this idiot say all the time? Fire him, fire away.
Has
But
been a
for the
little bit
record,
difficult.
For the record.
but right, hold on a second. But for the record, Katie can speak when she so chooses, and she's done interviews without me.
No, I'm not talking about interviews.
But she spoke without me.
Okay.
I want to clear up something that Chris said about Sebastian going to live with Seth. And Chris, you may ask, what does this have to do with Sebastian missing? It's all part of the narrative. It could mean he ran away. And that is, Chris, did you not say that he was not looking forward to going to live with his father?
Yes, I did state that.
Seth, did you know this?
Nope.
Chris, do you want to elaborate?
And I'll tell you why.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will be glad to elaborate.
Become a question.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on. I'm sorry, Seth. Start over. And then Chris, we'll go to you. Seth, go ahead.
But I know why I was putting him in online school. He needed his therapy to actually have been started with ABA, so on and so forth, before I put him back into the situation, because he's not ready for certain things.
Okay. So he was going to go.
I'm not going to set my son up for failure. I want my son to succeed.
He was going to homeschool until he was ready to go back to regular school. Is that what you're saying?
Listen to this.
Correct. And it's not really homeschool. I mean, it's just online school.
Okay. Online. Right. Online school. That's a better term. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said homeschool. Right. Online school. Totally different.
Really quick, Chris, the day that they had on Sunday with the spaghetti pan.
Oh, he gets mad about this, but let's go back to the school. So it was said that they maybe were going to put Sebastian in this online school until he could get, I don't really understand like what. Hello? I'm sorry? Hold on 1 second, guys. What is it? Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. Scared me. Walmart. I can't remember what I was saying. Let's keep going.
Cakes and bragging to family and BJ's and Texas Roadhouse and bowling and all of these, like, it sounds like the best day ever. Was that like a normal weekend for them, or was it like it just
Nick?
I don't know. Was that like their normal weekend?
Right. Well, do me a favor. Let's pause that question because you just diverted away from what she asked, and let's clear this out.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We want the facts. Let's get the facts straight.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, so what I'm wondering is why the online school, and maybe there were things that were going on at school, or did they maybe want to pull him out because Sebastian was talking to his teachers about the ABUSE. If you're not in school, you're not gonna have that face to face with your teachers that you're gonna tell that there's things going on at home. Bing bong.
I did tell you Sebastian was not excited about going to his father's house because online school. Seth
school.
was aware of this because Seth stood in my house with me, Katie, and Sebastian in my kitchen and had this conversation where Seth asked his son about, you don't want to go to online school? And Sebastian's retort was, no, I don't. But I don't really care about playing tit for tat. I understand.
Okay, so see, he is playing tit for tat. He says he doesn't care to, but he is. So he says that Seth was in their kitchen and Sebastian was asked, do you want to do online school? And he said no. Now, maybe he didn't want to do it. But what was the reason for not wanting him to do it? That's the question that wasn't asked. Now, we know that there was a CPS call and it stemmed from Sebastian telling his teacher. More isolation. So he was in a school in White House, and then they moved to Hendersonville, and he starts a new school, and then now they're going to pull him out of school altogether. So did something happen to make them move from the school he was thriving at? Because if you have a child that's special needs and they are comfortable and thriving in school, why would you, thank you, Kimberly, why would you ever move them from that school? It doesn't make sense. So why would they move them from White House to Hendersonville? And then want to pull them out of Hendersonville and homeschool? Sebastian is a social kid. He doesn't need to be at home with no socialization and only going outside to put trash in a trash can. That kid needs to be outside playing and getting energy out, not sitting at home on homeschool while parents are working. That's weird to me. I think so too, One-Eyed Flo. I think he was doing inappropriate things that they needed to work on his behaviors, because he is obviously having a harder time understanding what's appropriate and what's not. No fault of his own. But if his mother wasn't getting him the proper treatment and just let it go, let it go, let it go, and then as she said, hey, Yankee, his hormones were kicking in. So what happens when a teenager's hormones kick in? A different kind of behavior is going to come out due to hormones. Kathy, I'm trying, dude. Kathy, I'm doing my best. I didn't hear this was a special school. I didn't hear anything. You're adding to the story. And kids can go to school and do therapy. Right. No. I understand that, Terry, that Seth wanted to turn things around. And that's probably why he wanted to get him homeschooled so he could get his behaviors appropriate so that he could go to school and mix in and be okay and not do things that are going to be inappropriate. That's how I took it. Yeah, I'm aware that he was SA'd. Right. And it's not his fault that he had these behaviors. I think that Seth wanted to step in and turn things around and do the things that she didn't. And it's sad that it couldn't go a few more months for him to do that. And I'm sure Sebastian wasn't excited about staying home. He wants to be around people, but he didn't understand that maybe his behaviors weren't acceptable at school. So they had to do the therapy and get his behaviors so he understood them and take the time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that would be the right thing to do. I think so too, Funsky. I think that's why they moved. His mom didn't do what she was supposed to do all these years. And then all of a sudden puberty kicked in and hormones kicked in. She even said it herself, he's a teenager and his hormones. She didn't know what to do because she wasn't prepared. She didn't do the proper therapy prior to the hormones kicking in my opinion.
Understand that this may be a reason why he wanted to run away, so to
Yes,
speak, if
Flo.
that's the case.
Right.
But we're not going into this. We're not going to play this tit for tat on social media. We're not doing this.
Okay, Seth, go ahead.
Chris, unbeknownst to you, had already talked to Sebastian. He knew this wouldn't be a permanent thing. And
See? And Seth says, I talked to Sebastian. Like, he may have said he didn't want to do it. Of course he would say that. What kid's going to be like, yeah, I don't want to be around, kids at school and my teachers that I like and the resource officer that I joke with every morning. Of course he's not going to want to let that go. But Seth is explaining, look, dude, I told him it's not permanent. This is a temporary thing. So he was trying to communicate this to his son. Why couldn't they just let him go?
him had already spoke.
Well, that right there is a conversation you should have had with Katie and myself about what your plans were.
That's a conversation you should have had with Katie and myself about what your plans were? Why? Because you might not have beat him so much, Chris? You might not have ruined your life, taken this kid away from his dad? If you had known? This guy knows where Sebastian is. He knows what happened. And so does Katie. I am 100%, 99.999% convinced.
I'm sorry, do you want?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What Seth was saying is that if I had known the conversation that him and Sebastian had, then I would know the whole thing. But the downside is that's where Seth should have had that same conversation with me and Katie, and that didn't happen. But this goes right back to, here's the thing. If you're saying that because he didn't want to go live with his dad, he potentially ran away, is that a possibility? Sure, we'll put that out there.
Okay.
But quite honestly, what goes on between Seth, me, his mom, and our households is none of the public's business. If it had something to do with his disappearance, I would understand that, but it doesn't.
Well, we don't know that.
Right, exactly, Trish. We don't know that. He's telling us it has nothing to do with it. But, sir, you're an abuser.
Well, I understand that. That's why we're making this clear.
And that's
Right.
why I asked about his day, because I
Let's
didn't
go back
know.
to the day. Okay, go ahead, Megan.
No, okay. So, Chris, you don't know me very well. I have 2 decades of experience working with autistic children.
Boom.
And
Get it,
in
Chloe.
different capacities. So I do understand they are all different. I do understand that day may have been very overstimulating for him. So that's why I was asking if that was a normal day for him. And if it wasn't, that just gives me more information that maybe he was very overstimulated that day.
Chris?
So, all right, so one more time, I'm so sorry.
Dude, he wasn't even listening to her. He wasn't even listening to that whole mess.
saying, in my experience with autistic children, obviously they're all different. But if this was not a normal day for Sebastian on Sunday when he went and did all of these things, and it sounds like he was gone from home for a while, if this wasn't a normal day for him, would this have been an overstimulating day for him? Is this something normal? Does he normally go to BJ's and bowling and all of these things on a weekend? Or was this kind of like a special thing? And if it was a special thing, what caused it to be special? Was there an occasion?
If it was a special thing, a mother and a son bonding and just having a good time.
I'm not being ugly at all.
I'm not. I'm making the statement.
Is this a normal day for them on a weekend? For them to do all
our days fluctuate. Monday through Friday, we're a working family, just like everybody else out there. And when the weekend comes, that's when you get a lot of stuff done. You go a lot of places, you do a lot of things. And a lot of times that's where, you go and spend time with your kids and do extra things. Sebastian's not in sports like most kids. So we don't spend ball time at the ballpark. When Seth has Sebastian on the weekends, he goes and does fishing and things like that with Sebastian just as well. I mean, Seth works long hours. I work long hours.
And I'm not saying any of that is suspicious at all, Chris. I'm just asking if that was normal. Because if it wasn't normal,
he'd be overstimulated.
That could be a reason for him to have ran out of the house.
No.
Okay.
He was not overstimulated.
Okay, so that wasn't one of the possible reasons.
I'll tell you right now, in those warehouse stores, I don't have autism or Asperger's, and I'm overstimulated in those damn stores. Those big ass warehouse stores, they're loud. There's shit going off everywhere. They got TVs playing. They're talking over the loudspeaker. There's a lot of stimulation there. There's also a lot of stimulation at the Texas Roadhouse on a Friday night. There's a lot of stimulation at a bowling alley with games. Everything they did is stimulating. Like I could only handle one of those things in one day. Like doing all that in one day, I'd be friggin' like exhausted. I'd be like, okay, this is a lot. So she's asking a fair question. She's like, is this normal? Like every weekend, was it, he went to school, you worked, and then on the weekends, did you guys run around all weekend? Or were you usually at home? And it takes me back to when Katie said, she was asked, what does Sebastian like? And she said, and I think it was on that On Patrol Live, he likes the house. He likes the house. I think he liked being home. He liked familiar things. And then we heard this PI say in the very beginning that they also went to a friend's house that day. Who's the friend? She said that in the very beginning before anybody else joined, that we know, she said, we know that they also went to a friend's house that day. So who's the friend?
To leave.
Here's what I'll say. Everything is on the table. Nothing has been taken off the table, period. That's the same statement law enforcement has made. That's the same statement I'm going to tell you every single day in and day out.
Katie gave my son to your mother and father. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Oh,
say it one more time.
He said there's a rumor that Sebastian is with your mother and father. And then he said, oh, I shouldn't say that. Listen again.
One more time.
Do you not want to say that? Well, we can move on. So
No. I want to hear it.
Oh, yeah, he does.
There's a rumor out there, Chris, that your mom and your dad have Sebastian. It's been brought up to me.
Seth, darn good and well, you got a question about my
I'm just
mother.
asking.
You pick up the
Did they
phone
take you
and you
somewhere
call
to
her.
like a boot
He
camp
gets
or
mad
anything
about
like
mom.
that? And Katie just thought I wouldn't accept it.
I don't think
Hold
Seth
on.
is being accusatory. I think he's just trying to clear up a bunch of BS that's been online.
Right, and I'm trying, and I'm telling you,
Don't talk about my
if
mama.
he's had this suspicion, he's got my mother's phone number. He can pick up the phone and call her. She is not afraid to
No,
answer any
Chris, I'm
questions.
asking you. I don't want to talk to your mom. I want to talk to you, and I want to talk to Katie.
Well, it's real simple,
Just
Seth.
asking to put it to the rest.
Yes, go
You-
Seth. I don't want to talk to your mom. I want to talk to you and Katie. And he mentioned Chris's mom and dad, but he's only mad about mama. He is only mad about mama. Don't you talk about my mama. Okay, Roberta.
Roberta,
And why should Seth have to call his mom? Welcome to the dysfunction. Listen to this.
have seen the video footage of Seth on Sunday. Don't tell me you hadn't. I know you have. You sat in the room
No, I
with
haven't.
all the agents.
No, they didn't show me the video footage, buddy.
So you didn't see, you weren't sitting in a room
Wait a minute.
with law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video when you wanted proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen proof since Friday.
Ooh.
When you've been at my house the first 3 damn days.
Ooh.
Chris, let Seth speak.
What? The district attorney? They were in a room with the district attorney? Hashtag criminal investigation. The district attorney talking about what? Charges? He's so mad.
Mom, I want to talk to you, and I want to talk to Katie.
Well, it's real simple,
Just
Seth.
asking to put it to the rest.
You have seen the video footage of Seth
haven't.
on Sunday. Don't tell me you hadn't. I know you have. You sat in the room
No, I
with
haven't.
all the agents.
No, they didn't show me the video footage, buddy.
So you didn't see, you weren't sitting in a room
Wait a minute.
with law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video when you wanted proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen proof since Friday. When you've been at my house the first 3 damn days.
Sunday, buddy.
Chris, let Seth speak. Go ahead, Seth.
Chris, they showed me video proof of him coming out of Texas Roadhouse on Sunday.
On a Sunday night. You damn right.
Just, Chris,
Seth, I got a problem with you sitting here making these accusations. Because if you got a problem with them, guess what?
Let's squash it.
I think we're just trying to talk things out, and I don't even know if this should be public, honestly.
Same.
Okay, here's all the public knowledge you need on this deal. Law enforcement has talked to my parents, my whole family. Once again, the statement is true, what law enforcement says. Just because you hear a rumor doesn't make it true.
Chris,
I don't think he said it was true. I think he's just trying to clarify.
He said
That's not clarifying. No, stop sitting here trying to defend his actions. Stop.
Okay.
The fact is, Chris, is I'm trying to squash the rumor. We're both here. Squashing the rumor.
Seth, there is no rumor. You know my parents were not with Katie on Sunday.
That's all I'm doing, Chris.
No, you're causing a problem because you know damn good and well where my parents were at their house on Sunday night. They weren't near Katie. They weren't near Sebastian. And if you got a problem, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call her. Be an adult. Be a responsible adult. And just call her.
Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, I can hear you.
Because all I'm hearing is anger and attitude from you.
Ghost.
What I'm trying
And you
to
should,
do
Seth. You should.
No, he
Because
shouldn't.
what you're doing is bullshit, and you know it.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
People
all
are
right,
talking
enough.
over each other.
Enough.
Seth, go, and then Chris, go. Please, Seth, and then Chris. Thank you.
Chris, a unified front squashes rumors together. That's all I am stating.
Okay, Chris.
This is a rumor floating around, and I would like us to squash it.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Worshom's and him getting
Okay, so here's the answer. The final
his mom being parked at Worshom's. I don't know what Worshom's is. What is that, Terry Lynn? What's Worshom's? And he cuts her off when she mentions
I
that.
would like us to squash it.
Well, let me tell you, Seth did amazing. And I think that PIs, aka PR, is just what he needed. And I'm not saying he didn't handle this on his own, but I feel like maybe Heather was texting him and they're helping him say the right things, keep his cool, but also have the right comebacks. And I feel like that's what they're doing. And I think they're doing a good job. And I slung shit at them, but I do think that they are communicating with Seth and helping it guide him to do the right thing and say the right things and keep the right demeanor. And it's got to be freaking hard. It's right by the high school. Okay. Are they friends with the Worshoms? Is that why they're just using the last name? Oh, you can bet your butt, Nikki, that Nancy's watching this. He may not be. It might get to the point where he can't decide if they come in or not. Because it can take you guys. We saw in the Idaho case. Wow, there's almost 2,000 of you here. Can you guys hit that like for me? It's a free way to help. Get the net algorithm, y'all.
Roberta.
But it can sometimes take 90 days to get electronic phone records back to prove where they are. What if these people had burner phones? It could be taking time to put videos with cell pings and phone calls and locations of all these people to see where they are. And with that, when you start building it, right? You start building it, then they can get a search warrant because they'll have enough probable cause. But you can't just say, hey, this guy's a dickhead and get probable cause from a judge to go inside. But as more time ticks, Chris Proudfoot, you can bet your bottom dollar of all your millions that everybody thinks you have. You can bet your bottom dollar that they're building a case. And yes, that's coming from a clicker. They're building a case. The shit takes time. And they can only do what the warrants come back. And then they have to analyze all of that. So if they tried to pull fast ones and cover this up, they've got to go back and undo what these fuckers did. Terry, how do I get a hold of you? I don't know how to get a hold of you. Terry, and if you want to come on panel, I'm live tomorrow at 3 if you'd like to come up. This is a formal invite. If you're available tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, I have a live already scheduled. If you'd like to come up tomorrow, I would love to talk to you. We can talk offline first if you'd like. But let me know. I don't know how to get a hold of you. You could send me an email. Then we can talk. Okay.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Worshom's and him getting in.
Okay, so here's the answer. The final answer to this.
It's not just an online rumor because people have driven up to me and personally spoken about this.
Okay,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, can I make the statement? This is very simple. This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone.
That's fine.
Hell, I'll do you one better, and
Fine.
I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
Whoo! Wait a minute. Chloe triggered him. About the mom being parked at Worshom's. Terry, let me know if you can come on tomorrow. Let's go back and listen to exactly what Chloe said, because I think she said this isn't a rumor about the parents. I've had people come up to me and tell me basically they saw her there. Oh, and he drops the F-bomb. And who's Bobby and Carter? Who are Bobby and Carter? That's what I want to know. I didn't see it. Let me go back. Everyone has my number. Okay, let me go back, Terry, before it gets totally buried. I don't see it. Maybe it disappeared. Yeah, it did. I don't think it put it in chat. Here, just do this. Text me here. Text me on the hotline number. It's going to come up in chat right now. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's just, I mean, I don't want to give them any
Right. So let's get to our next question.
Okay, next question. Let me take a look at my notes, yeah, because I just wrote some things down. Have you had, and I may have asked this and I forgot, Chris, my mind is sometimes mush. Have you had search dogs inside the house and outside?
Yes, ma'am, I have. Yes, I sure have.
And what did the dogs hit outside?
So, as you know, if anybody has followed Mr. Gray's, what he was talking about, the dog and the trail and the scent and the overlay on the picture.
No, we don't follow him.
There, anywhere from 13 to 18 different dogs have been involved in this search.
He gets mad about this
on day
too.
one, there was 5 dogs. 5. There's an audio dispatch tape that's been released. I don't know who released it. Whatever, I don't have it, but you'd have to dig it and find it. In that audio tape, you actually hear that the deputy sheriff does state that the dog hints toward a scent and he takes over off to the retention pond and the construction site next door.
Okay.
Now, other dogs did the exact same thing. Now, am I going to say every single dog? No, but I do know of at least 3 dogs that went on the same scent trail, same path. The rest of the dogs, I'm not going to tell you that they are 100% honest and perfect and accurate, because honestly, dogs are only probably 25% reliable when it comes to a scent.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, wait a minute. So before he said there was definitely a scent of Sebastian, da-da-da-da-da, and now he's saying they're only 25% accurate.
8 days. I've had dogs in my house the first 8 days. In my house, outside my house, around the neighborhood. So, yeah.
So they've been there and, yeah, so they did, you're saying they did hit and they all went to that pond?
No, I didn't say all of that. I just told you I've had 13 to 18 dogs in my house and around my house. I told you 3 different dogs hit on the same path that go to that retention pond.
Right.
I'm
That's
not going to say that every other dog.
Not every dog, but some dogs hit. Okay.
Right. So, but I want this to be crystal clear.
Okay.
So when people say every dog, that is not the case. 3 dogs went on the same path.
Okay.
That is all that we have on that. The rest of these dogs go in different directions, but it's all unreliable.
Understood. We do have a question from Michelle. Chris, Was Ellie able to go in and search the cave they said had collapsed about 10 feet in? I haven't heard this.
Okay, so Ken Widener is the EMA director for Sumner County. They called in all kinds of stuff, got layouts of where these caves were. I don't believe, and I'm not telling you by the gospel, I don't believe
By
they
the
were able to
gospel.
get into certain caves because they were not safe to enter. The one that she is referring to that collapsed, honestly, we know that the one collapsed. We don't believe they had anything to it.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so apparently there's a cave that collapsed, and he's saying there's nothing to it. This is the first I've heard about that.
Let's see here. Let me get my notes. I was taking notes while we were talking. Let's see here. Hold on. So people have been asking, and I don't mean to sound insulting, but people are asking, are you searching? Are you putting up flyers? That's what they're asking.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, and here's why they're asking that question. No, you're not going to find pictures of us out there doing this because it's real simple.
It's real simple.
We, all three parents, initially were told in the beginning not to go out and search, that we needed to be available to talk to law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah.
Seth has been out there searching and doing his thing. He's had a bunch of people following him. Whether or not he chose that or these people decided to do it on their own accord, that's not for me to say. But we, Katie and I, are not going to have some big, massive search party following us around with a bunch of people that are already threatened death threats, by the way, to us. I'm not doing that. If you were in my shoes, you'd do the same thing.
Shoes again.
You listen to law enforcement. You do what they tell you to do. Yes, we're out there putting up signs. Yes, we're out there putting up flyers. Yes, we are searching.
Who's Ken Davis?
Chris, I'm sorry. Did you just say you guys are getting death threats?
Yes, we've been getting death threats. And they have been reported to the TBI. Everything gets forwarded, screenshot, and sent straight to them.
Wow. Okay.
She says, wow, okay. You're getting death threats? Because I saw the PI said, we're working this case and we haven't gotten any death threats.
Okay, everyone. I have Seth on my phone, on my JBL speaker. Seth, I want to give you a chance to talk uninterrupted. So please, go ahead.
All right. Mainly, Chris, the communication needs to be a little bit more prompt. If I send you an email on Monday and Tuesday, I'm not willing to wait a week to get a response back. I mean, that's unacceptable when we're trying to find Sebastian, buddy.
I understand what you're saying. I respect that. But when it comes to you asking people to come into my house on my property, who I don't know Adam from Eve, and I really don't care what certification, who can vouch for these people, I don't care. I'm going to do exactly what I have always been doing. You send that to me, we're going to review it, and then we're going to send it to law enforcement. Let law enforcement go that route, and then when law enforcement comes
for us, it
Hold on.
need to be on your property.
Hold
See,
on.
this is
Chris, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Seth, what did you say?
I said the person to be our spokesman to speak for all three of us doesn't need to be on your property.
Okay,
But
you're
you
correct.
have
You are
spoken
very correct.
to him
I have spoken to him.
when
And I'm going to make this public. I am back working, and I have work hours. I also have to sleep And unfortunately, I'm on the opposite schedule of you.
Did I skip back too much? Did we already listen to that?
Seth, go ahead.
Chris, unbeknownst to you, had already talked to Sebastian. He knew this wouldn't be.
Yeah. I went too far. Hold on.
Sebastian, really, it's sad because we're not any closer to finding him as long as we're all arguing like this.
Yeah. And mods in chat, you're removing these comments, I hope, because I've been removing some too. And we've got extra people.
I think I went too far.
Just, Chris.
Seth, I got a problem with you sitting here making these accusations. Because if you got a problem with them, guess what?
Let's squash it.
I think we're just trying to talk things out, and I don't even know if this should be public, honestly.
Same.
Okay, here's all the public knowledge you need on this deal. Law enforcement has talked to my parents, my whole family. Once again, the statement is true, what law enforcement says. Just because you hear a rumor doesn't make it true.
Chris,
this is where he gets really mad.
True. I think he's just trying to clarify.
He said
That's not clarifying. No, stop sitting here trying to defend his actions. Stop.
Okay.
The fact is, Chris, is I'm trying to squash the rumor. We're both here. Squashing the rumor.
Seth, there is no rumor. You know my parents were not with Katie on Sunday.
Hey,
That's all I'm
Sakata.
doing, Chris.
No, you're causing a problem because you know damn good and well where my parents were at their house on Sunday night. They weren't near Katie. They weren't near Sebastian. And if you got a problem, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call her. Be an adult. Be a responsible adult. And just call her.
Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, I can hear you.
Because all I'm hearing is anger and attitude from you. What I'm trying
And you
to
should,
do
Seth. You should. Because what you're doing is bullshit and you know it.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
People are
right,
talking
enough.
over each other.
Enough.
Seth, go, and then Chris, go. Please, Seth, and then Chris. Thank you.
Chris, a unified front squashes rumors together. That's all I am stating.
Okay, Chris.
This is a rumor floating around, and I would like us to squash it.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Worshom's and him getting
Okay, so here's the answer. The final answer to this.
It's not just an online rumor because people have driven up to me and personally spoken about this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I make the statement?
I wish
This is very simple. This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone.
That's
Hell,
fine.
I'll do you one better, and
Right.
I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
We're not going to have a powwow like that, but I would
Well, then guess what?
this situation, and I would love for it to be private because I believe a lot of
He's threatening to get Bobby and Carter online. Terry Lynn, can we get Bobby and Carter on the show? Do you know Bobby and Carter? Bobby and Carter, if y'all are listening, hit me up on email. Let's talk about this. Let's see why he's bringing y'all's name into a missing kid case. Bobby and Carter.
Wait a minute.
With law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video, when you wanted proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen proof since Friday, when you've been at my house the first 3 damn days.
Sunday, buddy.
Chris, let Seth speak. Go ahead, Seth.
Because I rewound it. That's why it's repeating.
Fine. No, stop sitting here trying to defend his actions. Stop.
Okay.
The fact is, Chris, is I'm trying to squash the rumor. We're both here. Squashing the rumor.
Seth, there is no rumor. You know my parents were not with Katie on Sunday.
Agents.
That's all I'm doing, Chris.
No, you're causing a problem because you know damn good and well where my parents were at their house on Sunday night. They weren't near Katie. They weren't near Sebastian. And if you got a problem, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call her. Be an adult. Be a responsible adult. And just call her.
I don't want to call your mom, bitch.
Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, I can hear you.
Crystal clear.
All I'm hearing is anger and attitude from you. What I'm trying
And you
to
should,
do
Seth. You should. Because what you're doing is bullshit and you know it.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
People
all
are
right,
talking
enough.
over each other.
Enough.
Seth, go, and then Chris, go. Please, Seth, and then Chris. Thank you.
Chris, a unified front squashes rumors together. That's all I am stating.
Okay, Chris.
This is a rumor floating around, and I would like us to squash it.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Worshom's and him getting
Okay, so here's the
Chris,
answer. The final answer to
it's
this.
not just an online rumor because people have driven up to me and personally spoken about this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I make the statement?
I wish
This is very simple. This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone.
That's
Hell,
fine.
I'll do you one better, and
Right.
I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
We're not going to have a powwow like that, but I would
Well, then guess what?
the situation, and I would love for it to be private because I believe a lot of what is happening right now should not be public.
So explain to me why you don't want Bobby and Carter involved.
I didn't say I didn't want Bobby and Carter involved. I said I was referring to your tone, which is very angry.
Oh, I'm very pissed.
I know that. I think we just all need to take a breath because no one is accusing anyone of anything. We are trying to dispel things because in turn, dispelling these things will
You're
take
so full of
some
shit.
of the BS off of you.
Ooh. He laughed and said, "You are so full of shit." This is not working together, y'all.
This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone.
That's
Hell,
fine.
I'll do you one better, and
Right.
I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
We're not going to have a powwow like that, but I would
Well, then guess what?
the situation, and I would love for it to be private because I believe a lot of what is happening right now should not be public.
So explain to me why you don't want Bobby and Carter involved.
I didn't say I didn't want Bobby and Carter involved. I said I was referring to your tone, which is very angry.
Oh, I'm very pissed.
I know that. I think we just all need to take a breath because no one is accusing anyone of anything. We are trying to dispel things because in turn, dispelling these things will
You're
take
so full of
some
shit.
of the BS off of you.
Whoa. That was uncalled for. And Chris, I mean, I do understand your anger, but I know these ladies. I don't know Seth. I just know what I've seen. But these ladies are not full of shit.
I didn't say they're full of shit. I was referring to Seth being full of shit with his comment.
Well, that doesn't help matters.
No, it doesn't. So when you brought him on the show and he wants to start this shit, that isn't going to answer questions. It's going to spiral into the shit that's in. So we can set this shit aside and answer the questions that you got.
Okay. I would like to move on very quickly, but I will say the public opinion is not going to improve unless we can take a deep breath.
That's exactly right.
And I know you are frustrated.
You have no idea what I am.
I'm not saying I know
You
how
don't.
frustrated you are, but I know you are frustrated. And I am not saying that's not valid, but this is not helping.
If it's not helping, then you shouldn't be talking about it on social media.
But
as a PI, you should have said, you know what, we're not going to answer that question. We're going to do that privately.
Oh, now he's
That's
telling
where
them
that
how
should
to
have
do
went.
their
say that
job.
actually several times.
He
and
did.
you can listen to that recording later.
So let's move on to the next question.
I just got to say one thing. You want the public's help. You want them to be behind both of you.
we
And
need them to find Sebastian.
Exactly. And it's a very good chance that somebody in the public will find
that's
him.
my biggest frustration is that we all collectively have to deal with all of this instead of focusing on Sebastian.
Right. And it's a disadvantage to Sebastian. Really, it's sad because we're not any closer to finding him as long as we're all arguing like this.
Yeah. And mods in chat, you're removing these comments, I hope, because I've been removing some too. And we've got extra people, extra mods in chat. Anything rude that said, they're banned, they're gone. Okay. So we'll get them out there as quickly as possible.
Okay, hold on.
And let me go through chat.
I just did a little research, and Bobby Worshom. Okay, Bobby. I don't know why no one else said this, but I just did a quick Google. They own Worshom's Market. And in 2019, Bobby Worshom was awarded a check for $50,000 by the Tennessee lottery officials because he sold a winning $198 million Powerball ticket at Worshom's Market. The owner is Bobby Worshom. No, he's not a cop. He owns Worshom's Market. I don't know why that can't be squashed. If we have locals in here, squash this shit. Vicky Worshom passed away February 5th. Let's see who she's related to. Hold on. Oh, fuck. We're going to look at this after this video. She's got a martini and shit.
Really quickly here to get some more questions here. You've been on here for many hours, and I so appreciate this. I really, really do. So,
Can Chris hear me?
Yes, he can.
Can you? Well, you can't throw us in a back room so me and him can talk real quick.
I wish I could. I wish I had that ability, but I don't. I can take you both off, and you can call him. Do you want to do that?
Let's finish this first, and we'll do that after the fact. Let's get these questions out of the way.
Chris, listen, you may not like my opinion.
That's Mama Worshom.
But when we got rumors out there, if you and I squash these rumors, then they stop being rumors and everybody just looks at the people who are spreading them like they are shit.
Do Worshoms have cameras? And is that why they're saying that? Was there cameras showing Chris's mom or somebody at Worshoms? Yeah, and it was said by the PI that, yeah, that's Mama Worshom. That's the mama, the grandmama. Olive Juice just upgraded her membership. Thank you, Olive. Thank you, Lisa. You guys are awesome. You're a Jedi. Olive.
I was not trying to upset you. I'm trying to squash these stupid rumors that are literally filling up my privatized email address,
Lizzie
their
Bones,
inbox with crap. Which is crap. It's not helping find Sebastian, so if it gets squashed, then people will stop. Not everybody. Lord knows there's still going to be stupid people out there. But it will stop. It will, I mean, literally, it will stop.
My report is real simple, Seth.
To find Sebastian, Chris, and
they had to remove comments, Nancy. I feel like Chris would have hung up if they didn't.
Rumors out there that we have to put an end to. You may not like them, but we have to put them into them publicly, because right here we can end rumors, so people know. When I told them to fuck off, if they didn't like it, they know that I meant fuck off because they don't like it.
So stop right there, Seth. Stop. Let me help you with something real quick.
Oh, shit.
You want rumors to die? You want to stop with all the stuff that's coming up and flooding these PI's inbox? How many terabytes do you want of videos where you have gone out there and you've said some very harsh things that should never have come out?
Terabytes.
You never should have. And now don't take this the wrong way. That is a
Okay, now that we've brought up these Worshoms, right? Now that we've brought up the Worshoms, he's backed up again. He's backed up again. Now he's calmed down. He goes up and down. He's like a roller coaster. Imagine living with this guy. Imagine it. We're going to pull it up on Google. Yes, we are. The Beech Market is right across the street from Beech High School, y'all. Right across the damn street from Beech High School. On New Hope Road. Right across the street. We'll take a look at that in a moment.
Conversation for
I'm not
later.
here to swing much.
Let me finish.
There are things that I put out there.
Once again, you can't talk to a fucking log.
Okay, what? Okay,
Chris,
so
Let me finish.
Chris, that's not productive.
It's not. So let me finish. You all are playing one-sided here.
no, we're not.
I don't think that's fair.
So then tell Seth when I'm talking, let me finish.
Okay, Seth,
Okay.
let him finish.
Yes, Seth, please let him finish.
There's conversations you've had that should have never been out in the public light, and you know it. And because you did that, it started a lot of rumors. Own it, accept it, and move on from it. I told you on Sunday, I supported you. I would be there for you no matter what, how ugly this got. But I'm not going to stand by and watch you disrespect me, my family, my wife, or anybody for that matter. A lot of rumors got started because you went on social media and you opened your mouth and said some things you shouldn't have said. Accept it. I'll show you the videos.
You don't need to show
Now-
me the videos.
Now, in hindsight, that is a conversation you and I need to have offline, away from everybody else, in our own private conversation. You and I, we sit down and we can talk. Literally, Lise, you had people watch us doing it Sunday at that vigil.
Well,
They were snapping pictures because they were trying to get some juicy information.
Trish,
So let's answer.
can we move on to the question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's. There's a question here in chat, and I've heard this. And Chris, this is a good one I'd like to clear up. Is
Okay.
it true that Chris told Seth, "You will find your son at church"?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's
What he stated was if I went to church, maybe I'd find my son.
so. In other words, if you went to church and talked to the Lord, is that what you were saying,
Yes,
Chris?
that is what the whole conversation in reference was.
I have a question
Not
for
you go to a church and you'll find
Chris?
it. Who's
Hold
coming up
on,
with that
Seth.
crap?
I'm sorry, Chris. Finish. I'm sorry.
I'm talking because why I understand, I see where people got that,
Right.
but that is a conversation that Seth and I had privately. You know, I'm sorry, but we're not going to sit here and drag certain things into this. It has nothing to do with it. I told Seth, basically we should all go to church. We should pray.
Oh, please.
That's exactly what it was in reference to.
Okay.
Understood. Seth, go ahead. It's your turn now.
There's a better way to say it, Chris.
Okay, and that's
For you to
semantics.
think
Let's
that I
not-
don't go to church.
Seth, I didn't say anything about you not
That's
going to church or
semantics.
going to church. Can we
Is
go
that
to the next
defined,
question?
Sebastian?
No, it's not. Can we move to the next question?
All right, thank you.
Okay. How about this? Because you guys have been on here for almost 3 hours, and I really appreciate it. And I do think Chris and Seth need to talk off air. Let's talk about what we do know.
We should go to
We
church.
do know, and this is how we started out the live stream. We do
Right.
know that Sebastian was last seen publicly at Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. We know he was seen on camera taking out the garbage at some point.
Correct.
We know that there is a possibility that the cameras did not pick up Seth leaving the house because it was so dark.
Sebastian.
Actually, Sebastian, not
I'm
Seth.
sorry, what did I say? I'm sorry.
You
I'm so
said
tired.
Seth.
Seth, I'm sorry. You're not missing Seth. You're right here. Sebastian. Sebastian.
I'd like to be missing.
Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Sebastian was not seen, a possibility that Sebastian was not seen leaving the house because it was too dark. Okay? There were certain scent dogs that hit on Sebastian. There were 3 of them that went down to the retaining pond. According to Chloe, that retaining pond has been searched.
It was actually been drained and it has been walked and searched.
Okay, so that's good. I think that's what we know.
It's been drained, walked, and searched. He makes that clear.
About that night and the hours before he went missing. I think that's all we know for certain. Now, I want to ask all of you, what is the next step? Chloe and Heather, I'll go to you 2 first, and then I'll go to the two gentlemen.
I'm sorry, my dog was barking. What did you
That's
say?
okay. I said, what is the
Okay. She wasn't paying attention. All right. So the next step, the PI says, we want to work together.
No, we're not.
I don't think that's fair.
So they tell Seth when I'm talking, let me finish.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
Seth, let him finish.
Yes, Seth, please let him finish.
There's conversations you had
Oh,
that
shit.
should have never been out in the public light, and you know it. And because you did that, it started a lot of rumors. Own it, accept it, and move on from it. I told you on Sunday, I supported you. I would be there for you, no matter what, how ugly this guy.
Did not pick up Seth leaving the house because it was so dark.
Sebastian.
Actually, Sebastian, not
I'm
Seth.
sorry, what did I say? I'm sorry.
You
I'm so
said
tired.
Seth.
Seth, I'm sorry. You're not missing certain. Now, I want to ask all of you, what is
Sorry,
the
I'll
next
stop
step?
going back. I keep
Chloe
fucking
and
it up.
Heather, I'll go to you 2 first, and then I'll go to the two gentlemen.
I'm sorry, my dog was barking. What did you say?
That's okay. I said, what is the next step? What is the next step for you? What is the next step for the public? What would you like us to do? What do you think you guys are going to do?
Well, for us right now, we are really focused on getting Q in. Chloe and I are working on a report and some maps to try to give them an idea of areas that need to be searched or researched. And I think really the next big step is getting us all on the same page and working together.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is a mess right now, I think this is a huge step in that direction. And I'm hoping that, as I said, Chris had called me earlier and just right before the show started, and I messaged Chloe and was kind of talking to her about what you guys were going to talk about.
No, he didn't, Island.
To some of the things that he cleared up with me, I wanted to make sure she was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But, Chris reaching out to me and then reaching out to you guys on the podcast tonight, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. He's angry, but once we get past that, I think maybe we can all work together and start putting our heads together on where we need to look for Sebastian.
Thank you. Very good. Chris, what would you like to see us do? What do you think?
At this point, keep spreading the flyers, keep keeping his name out there in of good graces, not of in a negative light.
Good
In
graces.
other words, if you know something, say something. Don't wait 2 weeks. Don't wait 3 weeks. I told Heather the same thing. There's so many tips that come in weeks later instead of the moment that they come in. When you get these tips, you call 911, you call TBI, you don't call these PIs, you don't call Seth, you don't call us, you just call the law enforcement agency. Keep spreading the flyers, spreading the word, prayers. Trust me, keep the prayer warriors out there. We need them.
I agree. And I think, because of all of the noise, people
For real.
have not been reminded to continuously search their properties. And like I said before, everybody else came on here. There's a lot of really large properties in the area, and the terrain is treacherous in a lot of areas, and things get missed. So I think it's important to center it back to the local level, first of all, because this has become national, and nationally people are giving their opinions. We need the community to come back together and search their acres and acres of property, because I believe he could be very close to home.
Mm-hmm. There you
Now,
go.
I will say this much, that everything she said is exactly the same thing law enforcement's been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not comfortable searching, call law enforcement. They, I'm sure, can work in getting a team out there to search the property. You know, please, everybody that's searching, do not. I can't stress this enough. Please do not just walk on private property without having prior permission. Please.
By the way, there's comments in chat and we're removing them. Chris has been searching. Okay, he has been searching. Just because you don't see him searching, because you personally don't see him, doesn't mean he's not searching. So that needs to stop. Okay, that needs to stop right now. And Seth, what do you feel the final word should be?
I need people to keep the faith. I need people to keep faith that we will find Sebastian. I don't know. I don't know what people's mindset are right now, but it doesn't need to be about me. It doesn't need to be about Chris. It needs to be about Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian is the goal. Sebastian is what is lost. Sebastian is what needs to be found.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's here for me.
I am so sorry.
My son is missing. I need people to continue with the flyers, as Chris said.
Mm-hmm.
CBI has already stated that most of their tips do come in from flyers. I have
Okay.
I have 100% faith that the humanity that still exists out here, that we can come together, heads up, eyes open, see something, say something. Contact FBI, contact TBI, call 911 for your local. Tell them that, you know, you think you just saw the missing child from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Get them on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the same point in time, if you feel that they're not doing it, you just fix it. Law enforcement is short-handed. All it takes for evil things to exist is good men do nothing. And that's good females too. I'm not, you know, it's just for evil to exist and continue is good people they do nothing.
Right.
Don't fall into the simplicity. On your way to work, on your way to the corner store,
Mm-hmm.
on your way to Walmart, you might see my son.
Absolutely
You might
right.
see him, and I need you to say something. I need you to call 911 immediately. If you're not in Sumner County, I need you to call 911. After you call 911, call TBI, so that way they know that 911 has already been called. I have found that law enforcement groups do not communicate with each other, and I don't mean this as a negative, but I mean this as a Facebook lead came through, and I called Lebanon, which is here in Tennessee, and they didn't even know that my son was missing.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I will second that with Seth. There's a lot of people
They
out there
don't communicate.
that don't know locally.
Shut up,
Right.
Chris.
They don't communicate, and they need to. They absolutely need to.
Well, I'm not saying communicating. I'm just
They're
agreeing that he's
short-handed.
saying that there's a lot
Not
of
everybody
folks.
gets the information that is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody forgets to do a pass down, and the next officer on duty doesn't get the information that he needs. So he doesn't even know. It's not his fault. The officer before him could have been working a 16, or have even been working more than a 16, which is illegal. But we still have to have law enforcement out there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just need everybody to work together. The rumors are killing it. The rumors are killing people's time. And that's the one thing Sebastian doesn't have.
Right.
So if you've already called PBI with your information, but you think it might be a rumor, if you heard it from Joe Blow down the fucking road, you're not helping find my son. You're part of the problem. People out there listening that are doing the death threats, I will see you at my door. You're going to sit there and pick on people. That you're a coward. You are a coward. And if somebody has my son, understand that I love him and I need him back.
Mm-hmm.
I need him back. Not that I want him back. It's I need. Because my life has stopped. Because
Seth.
Okay, that got me. It's not that I want him back. I need him back. That breaks my heart, man. And I'm not saying Seth Rogers is a perfect individual, but he said himself he's not a perfect individual. But this right here is so telling, so telling. And then Seth is crying and desperate. And then Chris softens up again. He's firing up that gas to gaslight him again. He goes up and he hits his climax, excuse the word, and then he comes back down and he just starts the gaslighting process all over again. He gets to a certain point and then he comes back down and he starts it all over again.
My son is not here, and I find it hard to function.
Can you ladies get
a regular life without my son here?
You hear him? Can you ladies get his attention? He wants him to stop because this is too much. This is too much. This raw emotion he can't handle.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Seth.
What did you say? Go ahead, Chris.
Right. Seth, I know what you're doing and I understand the plea, but hang tight, man. You and I we need to get off this panel. You, me, Katie, PIs need to get on a phone call.
Absolutely.
Not on here. Our message is simple. Find Sebastian, you see it, you say something, you call it in. Don't wait. Don't go down this track, man. Don't. I'm looking out for you. Don't.
Can I just say one thing?
He wants to shut that down. I'm looking out for you. No, he's not. I'm looking out for you. There's the gaslight. He brings his emotions down and talks calm. And then says, I'm looking out for you, buddy. He's a psychopath. I'm looking out for you, man. It's kind of like Brian Koberger walking into 1122 King Road and saying, don't worry, I'm going to help you. It's gross.
I don't want to ever discourage people from reaching out with information that they think might be pertinent. Now, getting the same tip 100 times from everybody on social media, just sending the screenshot, did you see this? And we've already seen it 500 times. I mean, that's a little excessive, but I don't ever want people to think like, oh, this might not be important, because that might be the one tip that actually was important.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a different message to send. I don't want anybody to feel discouraged. Please reach out to us. Please reach out to PBI. Do not keep anything silent because you don't think it's
Absolutely.
important.
And I wanted to reiterate, like I get a ton of messages. And even if I do not respond to you, that doesn't mean I haven't looked at it. And that doesn't mean I'm not looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
So please, I mean, I get them on Twitter. I get them on Facebook. I get them in my emails. If I don't respond, it's not because I'm ignoring you. We are vetting things that we know are probably nothing.
Right.
But we're still vetting them.
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's regardless of how everybody out there feels about me personally, regardless. Let me help everybody with something, and this might help you understand where we're all standing. There are some folks out there that have children, and I would like for you to take your step back, and you can go look at your children. You get to look at them. You get to hold them. You get to hug them. You get to give them kisses every night. You get to say, I love you, and all the fun jazz that you get to do.
Fun
Right
jazz.
now, there are 3 parents that cannot do that right now to one child. One. Regardless of how you feel about me, because I can tell you now, I'm not the most liked person in the world, and I'm perfectly okay to accept that. But if your heart's in the right place, and you're doing this for the right reasons, it's not about me. It's not about Seth. This ain't about Katie. This is about 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, our son. And all I'm asking for y'all is to please tone everything down. Focus on the positive. Keep pushing the message out there. And trust me, when we find Sebastian, when he comes home, let the party begin. But that's all we're going to ask of y'all is please just keep spreading the word and be supportive.
Let the party begin.
That's all we're going to ask.
Thank you. Seth, any final words?
No.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for coming tonight. I apologize for the rude comments in chat. Our mods were deleting them as quickly as possible. Those people disgust me. They're not welcome here. And
Thank you so much, Trish. If this had to happen publicly as it did. I'm really glad it happened here.
Well, and again, we'll do anything we can to help, and anything we can do to facilitate the talking. We don't need to do anything publicly. We'll help any way we can privately, and we won't say a word. So anything you need, we are here. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care now.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's it. Okay, so they all hang up.
You know,
They take it offline. I think Trish did a great job keeping them talking for that long on the same panel. Chris Proudfoot is an absolute asshole. That Brandy says, "Wow, Jay, I'm very surprised at your attitude towards this family. We have got to remember this whole family is a victim of online bullying. As LE says, parents are cooperating." Okay. I don't see them cooperating, though. That's not what we're seeing. LE can say a lot of things. They can also say that, that flashlight video is nothing, but then won't say what it is because there's an ongoing investigation. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to be, hopefully Terry Lynn will come on tomorrow. But I want to know, and I thought I screenshotted this, but I didn't for some reason. But I want to know why Chris's mom in November. Now, hear me out. We talked about Katie being on Nextdoor, right? Why was Chris Proudfoot's mom on Facebook in a foster care group asking if they had a car seat stroller combination at the store? So this foster care thing on Facebook, and I'd have to find it. I don't know. I just saw it this morning and I had just woken up and I was like rubbing my eyes because I always look to see if there's an update. And there was a post shared from November of last year. It was Chris's mom looking for a car seat / stroller combo. And then we have Katie on Nextdoor in November asking for people to move a bedroom around. Was Katie pregnant last year? I'm not trying to start any rumors, but did something happen last November? Because I'm not shaming her by any means. I'm not shaming her looks by any means, but I want to show you what she looked like last year. What happened to Katie Proudfoot? Here is Katie in her Brinks t-shirt. Looks like she's probably working. This is not the Katie Proudfoot that I see in those interviews. And then here's another one of Katie and Melissa Proudfoot. This one's kind of old, 2017, but like, why were they looking for a stroller combo? Chris's daughter wouldn't be in a car seat stroller last year. November of 2023, they did not steal Faith. Faith is like 6. No. Faith is too old for a car seat stroller combo in 2023. She even said that the furniture was on sliders and she needed help in the evening or on the weekends and that she would pay someone. I don't think that's a filter at all. She looks like a totally different person. To me, anyway. Here's another one of her and Melissa in 2017, quite a few years ago. But this is her and Melissa Proudfoot. They've both changed quite a bit. But yeah. I just thought that was interesting. The dogs need to be vetted. Is she preggo now? Oh, I don't know. I just wondered why his mother was, if maybe they had a grandchild born. I don't know what other kids they have. I mean, I know that Melissa has grown, like older kids, but I was really interested in the stroller combo last November. And then Katie wanting this furniture move that was on sliders. Because, like, furniture on sliders, you can move a lot of shit on those sliders. So, I don't know. Just something, something interesting. Tomorrow we're going to be going over this flashlight video, but damn, I want to show you guys it so badly right now. There's definitely a ruckus in that video. I call it a ruckus. I'll give you a little preview of what I'm talking about here, and this is why I think it's quite disturbing. So I put out the full frame video before. And anyways, that Brandy, my attitude about them is because they're jerks. Okay. This guy was beating an autistic child. That's not even his. That's not even his. Thank you, Ben. Yes, the ruckus. Her shirt said evil girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Which, not that one. Not that one. This one. Yep. Evil girls. There you go. There's Katie and Melissa Proudfoot. Did y'all see the ruckus in the video? SL, thank you for your email, by the way. We'll go over this in greater detail tomorrow, but I will show you a little bit of what I've got here. So I put out the full frame video of whatever that, footage is, where we were looking at subject 1 and subject 2. And we couldn't figure out. And then we heard, no, those aren't flashlights. It's a garbage truck. Well, I have a lot of thoughts on this, so that's why we're going to go deeper tomorrow. But someone on TikTok put this out, and it was sent to me. And y'all, I was shooketh. So they were able to zoom in. Okay, so when you look at the full frame, you see like this camera is mounted on a house looking diagonally across. That's somebody's driveway, right? Their surveillance footage or their surveillance light goes on. But up at the very top, let me get my pointer. Give me a second. Okay. So if you look up here, so you're looking at what I believe is a home, and I'll show you guys more tomorrow. Like I'll walk you through how I got to this. But if you're looking diagonally across Stafford Court, diagonally, I believe, over Stafford Court, looking kitty corner to the Proudfoot's home, I believe that up there are the 2 garage lights. That is their garage, I believe, in my opinion only. And I'm going to show you these people actually zoom in on that. And you can see movement. And I'm just going to play it and let you guys see. So what you're looking at are the black shadows. The white is clearly the lights, the glare. But look at the shadows, the silhouettes in front of those lights, and tell me if you see anything. And then tomorrow, we're going to be going deeper into this. Take a look. Wait for it to get larger. This is just a clip you're seeing slowed down. Let me just tell you, this is not a long clip. This is a loop from a long distance away. I do not, Cindy. Yeah, we watched it for hours last night. This is movement. There you go. There it is, nice and large. We're going to go deeper tomorrow. And websleuth's link is in the description of this video, guys. This video came from law enforcement. I don't need to give it to law enforcement. They're the ones that leaked it to Nick Barris. It's not a bin man. Y'all can replay this. You can replay this. Just watch it and replay it and tell me what you see in the comment section if you're replaying this. Yeah, you can see the bill. I saw a bill of a hat too. Yeah. It looked like it. Looked like it. Terry Lynn says, are we sure he was away? I don't know. I'd like to know. That's where that ends. And we're going to go deeper into this tomorrow, guys. It's quite disturbing, but it's very eye-opening. And I don't know what the frick we're seeing there. What the frick we're seeing there, but it's quite disturbing. And I think that there's something in that video. And I don't think that it has anything to do with flashlights, because I don't think those are flashlights. I think what's happening here, and if you look right here, you can see. And like I said, I will explain how I got to this tomorrow. Because I have a members only live today at 5 where we're going to be talking about the Watts house, the latest in the Watts house. It's crazy. It's crazy. That house is cursed, I'm telling you. So I'm thinking that if you see this and you think, oh, has law enforcement seen this? Of course they've seen it. But can you arrest someone for murder based on what you just watched? Or anything? I mean, you can't even make out who it is. So it's going to take, in my opinion only, it's going to take some time to figure out who this is in the distance of this video right here. Who are these 3 people? I see 3 people. I see 3 people. I don't want to see 3 people, but I do. I see 1 here. That would be subject number 1. Subject number 2. In my opinion, subject number 3. And that's what I see. And the reason that the clock might be off and supposedly stuck at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. is because this happened in less than a minute. Of course they do, and it takes time to analyze footage. And I'm sure that there's other cameras in the neighborhood that they have as well. This is just what was leaked to a reporter. Craziness. So I have full hope that they're building a case against them. And like I said, we will go deeper tomorrow in that, and we'll also hopefully get Terry Lynn up here. She can clear the air on a lot of things. She's searched with Seth. She's spoken to Seth. I gave Seth a hard time after last night. I have to say, I have my reservations about, things that happened prior, but that's not why we're here. But as far as Sebastian being missing, I don't think he had anything to do with it. I think that last night's interview really, really showed the true colors of Chris Proudfoot. And the fact that mom is completely silent. She can go on Patrol Live. You know why? Because she has control over those questions. They have control over those questions. On here, it's gloves are off, man. It's anything comes out. He can't risk her doing that. He can't risk her accidentally saying something. Yes, get some merch. Home of the $20 t-shirts, guys. I try to make it as affordable as possible. I appreciate all of you. Let's end our poll and see where we're at. Is Mr. Chris ready to snap and completely lose it? 87% of you say no. The Proudfoots, 13% say or yes. And 13%, which is probably all of the Proudfoot family, say no, he's not ready to lose it. And Terry Lynn, I see that you emailed me your number. I will text you and we will catch up. And he did not like the mention of his mom at that market. Oh, wait, hold up. I wanted to show you guys that market really fast. The Beech market owned by the Worshoms. So I'm thinking that the Beech market has camera footage and he doesn't want to talk about it. Chris Proudfoot doesn't want to talk about it. Here's your Beech market. Let me show you guys this before we wrap this up, because I'll get off here and I'll be like, damn it, I forgot to talk about Beech market. So if we look at Beech market, looks like Beech market's got cameras. So was there something handed off here at Beech market? Maybe not necessarily Sebastian, but maybe evidence of something. There's Ronnie Worshom's general store right there. That's right by their house. And Sebastian could have gone up there. If Sebastian was known to walk around, like this guy said, oh, I saw him walking, but not lately. He could have walked up to this store, to Worshom's. And that PI mentioned Worshom's specifically for a reason. And it triggered his shit. Oh my God, a psychic spirit box had him saying Beech. Well, that's the name of his school. Everybody would know that. There we go. There's the market again. And there's another view of the market. So that's the $1 million question, Proudfoots. Were you at Worshom's that morning? Because let me show you on the map, guys. Let me show you on the map. Let's drive from the Proudfoots to the Beech Market and see. 1008 Stafford Court. And yes, we all memorized your address, Chris. We all know where you live. This is a 3-minute drive. It would take a half hour to walk. So you can see their house is over here on the left. Stafford Court. And the market is down there. And I believe they were searching a bridge down this way as well by the Beech Market. Were they not? Weren't they searching a bridge over here? So there is Sebastian's Beech High School, right? There's their house over here. Stafford Court. Beech Market. So did she drive to the school and drive down to Beech Market and meet Mama Proudfoot? Did she meet Mama Proudfoot here? Why is this blurred out? Maybe someone needs to look back here. Why is that blurred out? It's weird. Beech storage. Little bit sketchy. You think these people... Hey, Terry Lynn. Maybe see if these people have a ring. July 2023. Shoot, I can't see. Maybe they have a Ring doorbell. They have a recliner on their porch. Oh, they have a stroller combo too. But maybe they have a Ring doorbell. Who knows? They're right across the street from the store here. So this is where Bobby comes in. Bobby owns this joint. And Bobby's got cameras. So look at those tires. Oh, it's a double picture. Never mind. I thought it had 2 tires. Jesus. I need to get off here. I will see you guys tonight if you are coming into the members only. We're going to be talking about the owners of the Watts case and what has happened in that home and whether you think it's cursed. And then I'll share some of my video from when I went to the Watts house and my experience with it. I hope to see you at 5 p.m. Yeah, let's see, Terry. We need to put our heads together. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Let's roll our credits. Thank you for all of your support. If you could please hit that like button and please comment in the comment section. And I'll see you tomorrow also at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our regular stream. We'll be going into this flashlight video and looking at the ruckus. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being condescending, Scott Skulls. We always miss you.
Did I ask them to do that?
All right, see y'all. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.
See you later. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. So hot, you problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Stand up! Shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you.
Is it one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Jennifer loves horses. Hi, Jennifer.